Hey guys, it is Ingrid here. Very long time no see. This is a lovely background. I've forgotten how to film. Hi. I have not made a video since my April TBR. This is gonna be my August TBR. So, love having health issues. Anyway, let's just get into the video. I'll have my social media in the description. I'm not really using Twitter anymore, but I've started using my Instagram. I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm being very active. So go follow that if you're into bookish Instagram accounts. So if this is like the first video you're watching, we're gonna be playing this lovely TBR game that my sister created for me. Her Instagram will also be in the description. So this is based off Peter Pan, Neverland, the island that Peter Pan lives on. And we have different little icons. Some are places like Neverland Plains, Hanging Trees, Go Rock. Those have special prompts. I'll get to them if we land on them. I explained everything in my January one, so I'll have that linked in the description as well. But there's a couple changes. But then we have the one where there's a dice. We use my roll a card and it's different genres. And then we have a diamond and a little fairy dust. And those are two different types of cards. And here is where the new twist is added. So these are all my old cards I haven't thrown them out, but I'm bored of them. So I made new ones. And for the treasure chest thing, if I get one of these, I saw the back, so I'm just gonna shuffle these again. If I get one of these, I will see the prompt and I'll choose a book. And if I land on a pink fairy dust one, Annika, my best friend that helped me in my last video, will be linked in the description, will choose what book that fits this prompt. I think that's all I need to say. Not last month because it was April, I had 5 books. Annika chose all of them. And you would think, since I've had since April to read them, I would have read them all. I did not. So the first that she chose for me was a historical fiction. Was this beautiful, The Mercies. It sounds amazing, it looks amazing. I didn't read it. The next prompt was Sprayed Edges. She chose The Midnight Lie again. So beautiful, sounds amazing. I did not read it. Next we had a one-word title. She chose Unwind. I read this. I absolutely love this. One of my new all-time favorite books. Annika also read this. So finally actually reading something. Wow. Next we landed on the Neverland Plains, which is where you meet Tiger Lily, and the prompt was to read a book featuring royalty. She chose The Kiss of Deception, which was a reread for me. I also made her read it. She loved it, by the way. And I loved it just as much the second time around. So 2 out of 4 so far. And then the last one was a graphic novel. She chose Pretty Violent Volume 1. Also read and enjoyed that. So 3 out of 5. I don't have a punishment because my life is shitty enough as it is. So we're gonna turn the camera around, do the rolls, and then see what next month's TBR will be. I have 15 books. I'm looking at them. I've picked out 15 books that I really, really want to read. And I'm gonna have to narrow it down to 5. If they can even all fit on this. It's gonna be interesting. So, gonna turn the camera around and get into the roll. Alright, so in April we ended up on this tile right here. And let's just get straight into roll number 1. Got a 2. 1, 2. So starting this off by landing on Cannibal Cove, which is to read something outside of my comfort zone. Great start! So we're starting off landing on probably my least favorite tile, which is Cannibal Cove. So I need to read something outside of my comfort zone. But this month, I'm not sad about it because there's a book that I really, really wanted to read this month. And I'm also gonna force Annika to buddy read this with me. And that is why I'm no longer talking to white people about race. It's about race. And I've heard amazing things about it. I know Annika has purchased it as well. There's my receipt. And I just recently bought it. I really want to read it. I've heard that it's supposed to be easy to read. I've been reading Norwegian books about race, as well as middle grade books, because they're easier. So this will be my first like adult book about it. Hopefully I can comprehend it. It is in English, so we'll see. I am excited. As I said, Annika, you're gonna have to read this with me because you just purchased it as well. So not too sad that I landed on my least favorite one. Let's move on to roll number 2. A 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got our first card. So we land on orange one, the treasure chest. So I will be choosing. Let's see what my prompt will be. A sequel. Alright. Have a lot of sequels to get to, so this is a good one. We got our first card, and I feel kind of bad that I didn't land in a pink one because Annika is very excited to have been permanently added to my TBR game. But I got a sequel, which is great. I do have, I'm just looking around in my books, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sequels around me that I would like to read, but I'm gonna have to choose Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend, because in August this is my bookstore, like the bookstore that I work at, children's book of the month. And I have read Nevermore, and it was really easy to recommend it because I liked it when it was the month's book of the month last year. So this is gonna be our August one. So I want to have read it, and so that I can recommend it. Also, this is beautiful. Just give me a sec. Like, look at this beauty. Oh, I got this as a gift from my boyfriend. Thank you, Max. You probably don't remember, but thank you. And I also met Jessica Townsend, and she has signed it, and it's just about time. The third one is coming out in August, I think. So we are following the events of Nevermore. So I'm not going to say what this one is about, but Nevermore, we follow Morgan Crow. She is born on this date that like means bad luck. So if anything happens in the city that is bad, she get blamed for it, and they... That is the plot, right? Now I feel like I'm mixing it with something else. I'm pretty sure that's the plot. Wow. I'll have the Goodreads thing down below. Anyway, the important thing is on her 11th or 12th birthday, she's going to die. That's just how it is for the kids that are born in these days. But when that day comes around, she's whisked away to Nevermore to try and get life there. That's all I'm gonna say. Really enjoyed book 1, excited for book 2. So really happy that I could, like this one was one that I needed to read this month. So already got it in. Let's go to roll number 3. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oi, sorry, Pua. We got yet another one of these. Let's see what this one will be. A second chance. Okay, we can work with that. I picked another card. I'm sorry, Annika. Hopefully, there's 2 more rolls. We can hopefully get you to choose something. Next is second chance, and I have a lot because I tend to give up on books, but like not really give up on them. Catch my drift? But there's one that I'm not even sure if it counts because I never truly gave up on it, but like I've not actively read it for over a month, and that is Louise Penny's The Cruelest Month, and I am 84 pages into it, and I was really enjoying it, so I'm not sure why I put it down. I think just other books distracted me more. But I really want to read this. It's a murder mystery where the person, like the murder victim, dies of fright, and they need to figure out if it's a murder, how that was possible, what's going on. I've read 2 other Louise Penny books, absolutely love them. Love her writing, love the characters. The first one is called Still Life. I'll have both Still Life and this in the description. All of the books I talk about will be down there. So I need to read this. This video is chaos, I'm sorry, but I really don't know why I put this down. Kind of feel like it's cheating because I like always knew I was going to continue it, but my game, my rules, right? You're going to be read this month, I promise. I'm sorry. Moving on to roll number 4. Another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, this is going to be Annika's pick. Let's see what she, like what her prompt is going to be. queer. Well, that's broad. So we finally got a pink card. It is queer, very open, very broad, any genre, any type of queer. So she is currently picking her book for me, but I want to make a couple of assumptions. I think I know what she's gonna pick. I have narrowed down to 3, but I'm pretty sure which one of them. So I'm gonna do like top 3, what I think is the third most likely, then second, then first. The third most likely would be Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. This is basically a queer version of Grease, the movie Grease. Love that movie. And I bought this and I talked to her about it, and now she also has it. And so she wants to read it. So I think she might pick this so that we can buddy read it. But there's the other 2 I think are more likely, but this could be picked. And then what I think might get picked, not as much as the thing that's in first, but that would be Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. And this is basically female lesbians, necromancers in space. Lesbian necromancers in space, that made more sense. I recently did a outfit as book cover thing on my Instagram, linked in the description, shameless plug. And she was like, oh my god, I thought you already read that, we need to buddy read that. And so I think she might pick this again because buddy read. I have a feeling she might pick this because she's also interested. And then the one that I feel kind of confident that she is gonna pick though is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, because we both want to reread this. I'm not sure how long it is since she reread this, or read it the first time. Not sure how many times she's read it. I've only read it once, loved it, but it is 2 years ago now. And I've been talking about rereading it ever since. I've made my mom read it. And so I think this one is the one that she's going to pick for us to reread. We're basically following Evelyn Hugo and her 7 husbands, how it was growing up in the 1950s. And yeah, just how it was to be a person of color, a woman in those days, and kind of what was going on between the scenes in Hollywood. It's such a good book, and it's about time I reread it. So those are my guesses. Now I'm gonna wait for her to pick one. She could pick anything. Like she doesn't know that I think she's gonna pick one of these. So I'll come back when she has decided, and we'll see if I am right or not. All right, here we go. Let's see if she picked one of the ones that I think she's picked.
Hey! So the book that you get to read that features a character from the LGBTQIA+ community is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I'm pretty sure you already guessed that one. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's the love of, I think it's fair to say, both of our lives. And it's just a beautiful book. And it's time for a reread, and I'm totally going to join you on this one, so looking forward to it.
Alright, so we got our queer read. It was the one that I was most confident that she was going to pick. She's going to buddy read it with me. It's a reread for both of us. We love it. As I said, we follow Evelyn Hugo, her life. It is amazing. You probably heard all of the book community rave about this book. It's a reason for it. It's amazing. Pick it up. I'm so excited for the reread. Now I only need to decide if I'm going to physically read it or listen to the audiobook, because previously I've listened to audiobook and it's amazing. But maybe I should give it a physical read this time. I'm not sure. Either way, I am so excited. And now for our final roll for this month. Roll number 5. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, Annika's gonna get yet another prompt. There's a lot of cards this month. But this prompt is going to be an author from your country. So Annika's going to choose a German author for me to read from. Not in German, because I don't speak German. But that is the last one for this month. Alright, so we got an author from another country. Again, Annika's read. She's been nice enough to let me pick a Norwegian book for her to read. So I'm going to talk about those first, because I haven't talked to her about the ones, and I have 4 books for her to choose from, because on her physical TBR she only has 1 book by a Norwegian author. It's called Surrounded by Idiots. It's a non-fiction about how people are, and it sounds really good. I haven't read it myself, but she owns that one, so she can definitely read that. And then I have a couple that I have read, one that I want to read, that I know have been translated into German, but I'm not sure if her library has them. So if her library doesn't have these, she can read the Surrounded by Idiots. But the first one is Over Grensen, which translates to Over the Border. And we follow these 4 Norwegian kids that need to try and flee to Sweden during the Second World War. It is heartbreaking, it was beautiful, I loved it. Next we have Snøsøsteren. This translates to Snow Sister, and it's a very wintry read, but it is gorgeously illustrated. It's about death, and it's beautiful. And I've read both of those, love both of those. So hopefully she can get one of those. If not, I have this one called Odensbarn, which translates to Odin's Child. And this is not translated into English, I believe, but it is translated into German. And I really want to read this because it sounds amazing. It's a YA fantasy and there's northern mythology mixed in there. And so if she can get a hold of this from her library, then this. So she has a lot to choose from because, again, I don't know what she has access to. But I am also very confident that I know what she's going to pick for me, which is Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. It's not how to pronounce that. It is the only book that I'm aware of where the author is German that I have physically on my TBR. She could choose something that is not on my TBR. I don't know, but I feel very confident because she also wants to read this. And the cover is beautiful. We follow this girl and her grandpa like can read books and the characters come to life or something. It's something like that. I don't want to know too much. I've heard amazing things about it. I think it's YA or middle grade. I'm not sure, but it sounds amazing. It looks amazing. I am very convinced it's going to be that. I think she has already answered me.
Guess who's back? So this time I got to choose a book that is written by an author from my country, which is Germany. So I have the perfect book in mind. I sadly don't have it here yet, but it is. That is my cool version of a drum roll. But it is Cornelia Funke's Inkheart, and I know you have this beautiful version of it, so please show it off right now, right here, and happy reading!
We know each other so well. She chose this. I mean, it's a very recent purchase for me, and when I sent it to her, like the photo, be like, oh, here's my haul, she was like, it's a German author, I want to read that, so she needs to get one of these beautiful copies, and we can buddy read it. So I already talked about this. I'm so excited. And there's also 2 more books in this series, and the covers are gorgeous. So I'm hoping to love this so I can purchase the rest because it's beautiful. So let's just quickly wrap up what my August TBR is. I'm gonna add 2 more books. 1 more book? 2 more books? What was I thinking about? 1 more book? 2 more books. I'm gonna add 2 more books to this, but these are the ones that I have to read. So we have Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race for the Outside My Comfort Zone. For the sequel, we have Wonder Smith, which is the sequel to Nevermore. For Second Chance, we have Louise Penny's The Cruelest Month, which is an adult murder mystery. For Queer, we have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which is an adult historical fiction, I guess. And then we have Inkheart by Cornelia Funke, which is either a middle grade or YA fantasy. There we go. So I'm hoping to read all of them. I feel confident, but we'll see. And then I have 2 more that I'm gonna be reading this month that I didn't get to fit in. First, we have Men klarer meg ting. This is translated from English. The original title is called Men Explain Things to Me. It's an essay about mansplaining, basically. I got this from a friend of mine. Her name is Hanne. I'll have her Instagram in the description. And it's going to be a traveling book. So after I've read it, I'm going to give it to someone else. And then hopefully a lot of people get to read this. So I'm really excited about that. And then the last book I'm adding onto this is on Unholy. This one. English, am I right? So this is the sequel to Unwind, which I showed a little bit earlier. There we go. The covers don't match, but I got this from the library. And it's the sequel. We follow this world where you can unwind your child, meaning if they're in between the ages of 13 and 18, you can unwind your child, which means they'll basically kill them, but it's not considered killing because all of that child's body goes to other people, like organs and all that, so like life doesn't end. Yeah, it's fucked up, but I loved book 1, and so I want to continue. It's a long series, I think, but I definitely want to continue because I loved it so much. That is going to be my TBR. So in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. So hopefully it won't be 4 more months until the next one, and I'll update you guys how it goes. But if you follow me on Instagram, I'll update there. Also Goodreads, you can add me as a friend there. I have not done an outro in so long. So everything you need to know is in the description. I also put links to other people's TBR games. If you enjoy mine, you probably will enjoy the people down there. The Goodreads links to all these books will be down there. I don't know what else, but if there's something else you think you should know, they're probably down there. If not, leave a comment. And I will see you guys whenever I film again, which who knows when that will be. Hopefully in a month's time. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry I was a bit over the place. I'm out of practice. So I'll see you guys when I see you. Bye.